Hello everyone and welcome back to Policenauts. This is episode 2. Last time we started our playthrough in live stream format, but going forward we're going to be doing that in the pre-recorded Let's Play that we've come to know on the channel, because this game kind of needs it. There's a lot of dialogue, a lot of story to take in, and we're going to focus on that. So we got introduced to our main character, Jonathan Ingram, an ex-policenaut turned old LA detective in 2040, I believe. Lovely sci-fi Blade Runner-esque timeline that we're in, which I love. So we're in the distant future, 18 years in our future right now, but this game was made in 1994, so they were really putting it ahead of time there. 46 years in the future from when this game came out. So I'm really excited to see, I really love retro future stuff, so I'm really excited to get into this game a bit more, because we had our ex-wife Lorraine show up and ask us to find her new husband, and then we chased down an assailant, Lorraine's assailant, down an alleyway, only for him to escape on a motorcycle. So that's where we currently left off the game last time, so we're going to continue right where we left off and load our save file, as we're still in the prologue of Home. Let's have a look. Oh, and there's a summary screen. I didn't even have to give you a summary, because there's a summary screen. Wonderful. Let's have a look at the summary screen. Aha! Prologue. Home. Jonathan's ex-wife Lorraine says her husband, Kenzo Hojo, has disappeared. The only clues are 4 capsules and a leaf fragment. However, Lorraine is critically injured by an unknown assailant. The perpetrator is a mysterious individual with white blood. He manages to elude Jonathan and escapes on a motorcycle. Frustrated, Jonathan heads back to Lorraine. Now, something I did on and off last episode was I voiced the dialogue, because this is an English translation in subtitles only. It is spoken in Japanese. So the way that I feel like I'm going to do it is when there is voiced dialogue in Japanese in cutscenes, I'm just going to let it play. We've got the subtitles there, but when there is unspoken dialogue, I will read that out loud for you guys. So it'll be a bit of a mix. I just don't want to be talking over the dialogue, because I actually quite like Japanese. I quite like subs when I play games, or I watch anime or something like that. Primarily anime. I rarely play a game in Japanese. I've done it a little bit for Final Fantasy, and most recently for Sekiro. But yeah, we're just going to let the voice actors speak for themselves. And luckily we have subtitles. But yeah, I'll voice the other dialogue for you. So let's proceed with our summary of the prologue. Continue right where we left off, with a motorcyclist escaping.
雪が止んだわ。よかった。またあなたと一緒に星が見られた。会いたかったわ。この28年間。
ロレイン。
その時計まだしてくれてるのね。
時間にルーズな俺に君がくれたものだ。
私たちの時間は止まっていたのに。ジョナサン、お願い。カレンは病気なの。助けてあげて。カレンは。
ロレイン。ロレイン。
知り合いか。
友人だ。古い。
かわいそうに。ビヨンドから来たんだろう。
いや、戻ってきたんだ。戻ってきたんだ。俺のところに。
These cutscenes are so good. Like I said last time, playing a high-quality anime game, essentially. An anime with playable segments. American Space Line.
本日は ASL797 便をご利用いただきまして誠にありがとうございます。当機はグラビティターンに移り、順調にビヨンドコーストへの軌道を飛行しております。なお、これより先は無重量状態となりますので、ご気分の悪くなられた方はウィンドウ脇の呼び出しボタンを押してお近くのスチュワーデスまでご連絡ください。
Oh, nice.
どうしたんですか？気分が悪いようですね。 宇宙は苦手で。宇宙酔いですか。珍しいな。宇宙は初めて。いや、昔事故で宇宙を漂流して、それで宇宙恐怖症に。それは大変ですね。スチュワーデスに行って薬をもらったらどうです。コールボタンなら壁の赤いスイッチですよ。いや、まだ大丈夫。気を紛らわすには話すのが一番です。隣に座ったのも何かの縁です。よろしく。
Tony Redwood。
私はレッドウッドです。ああ、イングラムです。よろしく。
He certainly looks like an approachable fellow, doesn't he? Alright. Time to make conversation. You can press the call button by pressing the red button on the wall. Alright, we're back into... Let's have a look. Jonathan Ingram. It's me! Oh, cool. Even if I investigate myself, that sparks conversational topics with Redwood. That's cool. What sort of badge is that? Oh, just this thing I have. Kind of a good luck charm. He looks so trustworthy, doesn't he? Well, let's see. I love the blue and the purple anime here that we got going on right now. What's that crest on your jacket? This? It's the Policenauts crest. The Policenauts? They're from back in the day. Yes, they are. About our watch. You don't see many watches like that nowadays. Is that a radio-controlled type? Yeah, this model is actually one of the first watches ever used in outer space. It's been modified into a radio-controlled watch. I'm guessing you're a heavy smoker. Did you know that smoking isn't permitted on Beyond? It's just to help my nerves. I'm not going to light it. I'm surprised they let you board with it. It got pretty ugly, believe me. I do. Jonathan Ingram, it's me. I must look like hell right now. Alright, let's have a look with this guy. He's got a really pale complexion. Why is your skin that color? You can't ask that, Jonathan. Because of my artificial blood. My red blood cells are actually white. White blood. I use first generation artificial blood, which is less complex than the third generation kind you see on home. He looks awkward to talk to. Hey, why you got bandaged hands? Did someone shoot you? Did you get into a shootout in an alleyway earlier? What's this tattoo on your forehead? I want to see it. Sorry if I'm being rude, but what's that writing on your forehead? This is my tag. All Frozeners have one. I've never seen writing like that before. These tags have been designed to prevent a person from being able to distinguish between them. That therefore prevents them from being analyzed and forged. I like how you can get dialogue by investigating things multiple times. Like, that's something that I just remembered that I should be doing. Yeah, because now I can get more dialogue out of checking these things. You think it's a good idea to check things about like 2 to 3 more times, but something that I've come to realize is, like we did it in the office in the first episode, is we went to investigate, we never got to play the video message on the message machine because we investigated enough stuff that it actually pushed us into the next thing. I never know if there's a specific thing you have to interact with, or whether they're kind of like, there's like a time limit, or like after you've investigated so many things, the game moves on. I'm not sure yet. It's the Policenauts crest. This thing is 30 years old now. Let's see. We've already been in the air for over 12 hours. It's my Policenauts badge I almost wear around my neck. You must have a real thing for them. You seem like an old-fashioned kind of guy. You could say I don't keep up with all the trends. Okay. Let's have a look. Are you really surprised to see a Frozener? Oh yeah, kinda. Sorry if I've offended you. This is the first time I've met one of you guys. Just be careful when you're on Beyond. The people don't like to see discrimination against us. I'm not that kind of person. It doesn't feel very nice to be stared at, you know? I see you injured your arm. I just burned it a little. Must be painful. The best environment for treating a burn is zero gravity. Oh, there you go. That's why he's here. I really wish he wouldn't stare at me like that. Alright. Is it time to talk to him instead of just staring at him? You mind if we talk? What is it? Ask about his background. About your skin color. It's really like that because of the artificial blood? All the time? It's always like this, yes. Are you from Beyond? Yeah, I was born and raised there. I had a family matter to attend to on home. A family matter. Are we meant to be suspicious of this guy straight away? I feel like we're supposed to be suspicious of this guy straight away based on the fact that he looks like he could be a villain or into some shady stuff. And then also at the same time, he's like, oh yeah, white blood. But it could be a red herring or a white herring in this guy's case. I had a family matter to attend to on home. And yourself? Are you a terrestrial? Not exactly. I used to be an amphibian. You know, going back and forth between home and beyond. An amphibian? You were one of the amphibians? It was a long time ago, back when we were called astronauts. Ask about his background again. It might not make much sense to terrestrials, but Beyond is home to me. To be honest though, I guess Frozeners don't really have a home. Okay, let's ask about his job. First generation artificial blood. Are you military? Something like that, yes. I am a Frozener after all. So what about that injury on your arm? Yeah, what about it? Never mind. Okay. You must be a pretty busy guy. Not really, no. After all, space has been at peace the entire century. Ask about Beyond. Beyond is a very nice place. It has 1G artificial gravity and its own plant life. Terrestrials enjoy it a lot there too. If you want detailed information, you should talk to the stewardess. It'll be hitting its 30th birthday soon. There are festivities going on all over Beyond to mark the anniversary. Frozeners. What do you mean by Frozener? A Frozener is someone created from an artificially fertilized egg held in cryogenic storage by the government, or the breeders, as some people call them. The egg is later transferred to a surrogate mother for gestation and delivery. Oh yeah, I've heard a little bit about them. There's still a severe shortage of manpower in space development. You sound like I'm boring you. You were asking about the writing on my forehead. All Frozeners have an identification code like this tagged into our foreheads, surprising as it might seem. There's a great number of Frozeners on Beyond. When I was talking about discrimination, that was in reference to the terrestrials who go there. There's no discrimination against us on Beyond like there is on home. If anything, we're considered superior. Cool. I just heard my doorbell, so give me a moment. Alright, let's continue the conversation. Ask about Frozeners some more. Great number of Frozeners on Beyond. Artificial blood. What does having artificial blood do for somebody? Artificial blood has a higher oxygen transportation efficiency than normal blood, so it makes heavy blood loss less of a life-threatening condition. The body's functions aren't negatively affected in areas of low oxygen density either. Yeah, that's perfect for people working in space. So why hasn't it been adopted for widespread use? A normal person's kidneys and lungs wouldn't be able to process this type of artificial blood. You need to make slight improvements to the kidneys and lungs via gene therapy, and also undergo regular hemodialysis? Hemodialysis? That requires incredible amounts of money and the proper facilities. Guess you can't really expect the public to be on it anytime soon then. A normal person's kidneys and lungs wouldn't be able to process this type of artificial blood. Slight improvements, regular thing. There you go. Arrival time. When did you get here? Who'd you come to see? Was it someone named Lorraine, perhaps? When are we going to arrive? Oh, we're talking about the arrival time to okay, to our destination, not his arrival previously. You look concerned with the time. I just can't seem to settle down. We've just passed the halfway point. We've passed the halfway point. When are we going to arrive? Your sense of time beyond is different when you're on home. It's really nothing to worry about, though. We've just passed the halfway point. We've still got a while to go yet. Okay. Now we'll go into showing him things. This is really interesting, though, because, like, just randomly showing him evidence, being like, hey, what do you think of this, man? It's very interesting. What should we start with? Maybe the Policenauts photo. A Policenauts photo? Why am I not surprised? It's about as rare as that crest. You must have a real thing for them. Now virtually anyone can go to outer space. Okay. So we're not letting him know that we were a Policenaut back in the day. Alright, let's start with the Hojo photo. I'm sorry. Who are they? I don't know them. Yeah, I wouldn't expect you to. They look Asian. Are they famous? Are they Japanese by any chance? Why do you ask? There are a lot of Japanese in space, and nearly all of them are connected to Tokugawa. Okay. Interesting. Lorraine's photo. This is the photo of me and Lorraine from when we went to Lucas World. The one I had sitting on my desk back in my office. Never hurts to think ahead. Is that your wife? No. Oh, so is she your girlfriend? Something about her reminds me of the woman from that other photo. I guess the ages are too far apart, though. Yeah, fucking hell. That photograph looks really old. Hey, is that date correct? Yeah. Interesting. Capsules? If those are for SAS, I don't need any. I'm a Beyond, so I'm alright. Alright, so he thinks that the capsules are related to, like, the sickness or medicine or anything like that. The leaf. Is that from a terrestrial plant? Interesting, okay. Well, that's that done. So, that's an air circulator. When you go to sleep in zero gravity, the carbon dioxide you exhale collects around your head, which can make it difficult to breathe. That device creates an airflow to prevent that. Oh, that's so cool. Remarkable, isn't it? And a motionless vacuum, silencing all but the tiniest of organisms. Moving your head a lot will only make your SAS worse. Jonathan Ingram, it's me. If you're bored, why don't you call the stewardess over? You can call the stewardess by pressing the call button on the wall. That's what I was going to do next, but we've exhausted our dialogue with this guy. So, we've revealed to him a bunch of stuff, and he is seemingly clueless about it. What about your eyes? He's like a zombie or something. Doesn't even look like he's blinking. It's like we're still images on a screen. True enough, though, actually, he blinks. There you go. Actually, I was not even... Because he's artificial. They don't blink. I'm assuming he said the call button is the red one. What does the green one do? There's a button to call the stewardess and a button for the TV. Yes, let's turn on the TV first. Let's see what's on the tube, on the YouTube. Guys, what's on YouTube? I don't know. This guy called Apocalypse, you should watch him. What's on the tube? Let's watch some TV. BBC News Order. That's the news, guys. My favorite. Oh, it's Karen Hojo! Holy shit, it's Karen.
こんにちは。ニュースオーダーの時間です。
Convenient.
現在
Narc.
ビヨンド内でのナーク中毒者が急増しております。事態を重く見た BCP ではビヨンドでのナーク根絶を図るため特別チームを編成。ホームからのナーク流入ルートの解明を急いでいるとのことです。ナークはアヘンから作られる合成麻薬でモルヒネ型依存症状と LSD などの幻覚誘発症状をも兼ね備えた麻薬の帝王と言われるものです。宇宙推進事業団によりますと宇宙開発におけるナークの依存度は 30% を超えると報告されており、宇宙でのナーク中毒者は増加の傾向にあるとの見解に達しております。以上 BBC からお伝えしました。
Karen on the news, which reminds me.
BBC どこのテレビ局だろう。今のはビヨンドのテレビ番組ですよ。ビヨンドコーストブロードキャスティング、つまり BBC ね。
It stands for Beyond Coast Broadcasting. But it's BBC, so wouldn't it be BCB? Beyond Coast Broadcasting? Otherwise it's Beyond Broadcasting Coast. I'm confused. Must be a translation thing. But then at the same time, it can't be a translation thing, because on the screen it says BBC. I don't know. We'll just roll with it. They chose to put it that way. But that reminds me, is the dying words of Lorraine were talking about Karen and how she needs help, how she's like sick. So that's also another thing. Let's give it another look. Let's turn on the TV again. Let's see what else is on the tube. It's still the BCP news order. In other news,
今、全世界的に移植用臓器が不足しています。宇宙開発における宇宙環境の影響により、人体へのさまざまな障害が起こっています。無重力状態や宇宙船などにより、臓器の疾患、異常が急増しており、このままでは十分な移植が賄えないと、ドナー不足に対する大きな不安が寄せられています。宇宙推進事業団では、ホームの移植後進国などにドナーネットワークへの加入を呼びかけています。以上、BBC からお伝えしました。
And that's why we've got people doing kidnappings with organ transplants and stuff. Let's give it another look. Third time's the charm. What else we got? Is it more news?
もう一度お伝えします。
Returning to a previous story. Okay, returning to a previous story.
ビヨンド内でのナーク中毒者が急増しております。
Skip.
見た BCP
I
では
can't skip.
ビヨンドでのナーク根絶を図るため特別チームを編成。ホームからのナーク流入ルートの解明を急いでいるとのことです。ナークはアヘンから作られる
I can't skip this, just so you're aware.
依存症状と LSD などの幻覚誘
You gotta let it play out.
備えた麻薬の帝王と言われるもの
It's
です。
worth it for this news
宇
beat.
宙推進事業団によりますと、宇宙開発におけるナークの依存度は
Yeah, this drug is being used by a lot of people.
されており、
It's being used by a lot of
ナー
people.
ク中毒者は増加の傾向にあるとの見解に達しており、
Everyone's just looking to get high in space, dude.
以上、カレン北条がお
Karen Hojo reporting for BBC News. The spitting image of a young Lorraine. Okay, well, that's the TV. They aren't running any new stories. Bored already. There you go. Well, at least they confirm with us. Time to call the stewardess. I'll call the stewardess over. Transition to Space Girl.
顔色が悪いですね。宇宙酔いですか？
あ
緊張なさらないで気を楽にしてください。
あ、ありがとう。
何か私にできることございますか？
Okay. Why this angle? That's an explanation of the emergency life pod. Please be sure to go over it. A life pod? Is that like a survival bowl? No. A life pod has room for 30 people. In the event we have to use the life pod, remember that you would be putting on your spacesuit first. Those are stored up above. Your uniform is a nice color. It really brings out your curves too. You may not know that we wear a rubber undershirt too. It helps prevent the muscles from atrophying in zero gravity. Kojima cannot help himself, can he? That's a really tight skirt. This is a special skirt designed to prevent SAS. A special skirt designed to prevent SAS? What? It works just like my shirt. Puts pressure on the abdomen to prevent excess blood from moving to the upper half of the body as much as possible. Okay, that makes sense. Our entire uniform is designed that way. Okay. Lore surrounding a tight outfit. Thanks, Kojima. You're a genius. Fuck's sake, bro. You have exquisite legs. Thank you, but in zero gravity, the legs appear thinner than normal because your blood collects in the upper half of your body. It's called bird leg. I can see you're one of those smooth talkers. Kojima really likes to make his character a smooth talking ladies' man, doesn't he? No. It's hard when you want to play a game. It's hard that you want to play a game where you want to get all of the dialogue and the information, and it's all tied to things, and then you get into a situation like this, and you're just like, don't touch without consent, guys. Okay? Unless it's the armpits. I'm kidding. Contrary to its appearance, this is a excellent material for zero gravity. Doesn't feel very comfortable though, as long as it looks good. As long as it looks good. Okay. Am I glad I picked this flight? I might not have met such a beautiful stewardess otherwise. Well, thank you. I'm sorry, are we not in love with our ex-wife? Well, were we not just lamenting sort of like our memories with her and that we still wear the ring and the watch and she died in our arms maybe like 10 minutes ago? Are we not thinking about that one right now, Jonathan? Or have you already moved on because you've seen a girl in a tight skirt? Oh, are you not wearing a bra? They look so perky. That's right, you don't need a bra in zero gravity, nor do you need to worry about your hips, breasts, or cheeks sagging. Fucking hell, Jonathan Ingram. Miss? Yes? Ask about Beyond. Cool, let's get into some dialogue. Beyond Coast, mankind's first space colony was completed in 2010. Since immigration was open to the general public in 2013, the colony's population has grown to approximately 1 million people. Nearly 1/3 of the current population is comprised of second-gen inhabitants. Ooh, even more options. Well, first of all, the colony is a cylinder type. It's 6.5 kilometers in diameter and 32 kilometers in length. It makes one complete rotation every 2 minutes, creating an artificial gravity virtually equal to that of Earth's 1G. The colony's surfaces and mirrors are divided into 3 sections around its central axis, with each section having an area of 90 square kilometers. It's the first and last O'Neill-type colony. I can go over it again, sure. Okay, so she just repeats it. She just goes over it again. Okay, distance. Beyond isn't as far from Earth as some people think. It's approximately 380,000 kilometers from Earth, which is about the same as the distance between Earth and the Moon. Nice. That's what people tend to be most curious about. By changing the angles of its 3 solar mirrors, Beyond is able to create the effect of a day-night cycle and maintain a mild temperature all year round. Its climate is virtually identical to that of the west coast of the United States. That's the other reason it's called Beyond Coast. Its environment isn't as alien as some people expect. It's an almost perfect recreation of Earth's. It has artificial clouds, various forms of precipitation, and even wind as well. The partial pressures of the oxygen and carbon dioxide in its atmosphere are also the same. Nice. SAS. The medical definition of Space Adaptation Syndrome, or SAS, is the symptoms one experiences during adaptation to zero gravity. It varies from person to person, but over 50% of people develop symptoms within 1 to 2 hours of entering weightlessness. Cool. I actually really like the dialogue system in this game. I like how you have multiple options that you can investigate, and then once you have gotten dialogue from it once, it can then lead into another dialogue tree and get even more information. It's really cool. I kind of wish that, because I know that there's options that you can use to maybe progress the scene. So I would love if there was like maybe an indicator of stuff, of dialogue that precedes with the scene and stuff that is optional to get, in a sense, if you know what I mean. I like it when there's games that make that difference, so you know what to do, especially when you're trying to get everything, you know, you're trying to get as much of that dialogue and information as possible. Much was revealed about the nature of SAS after the turn of the century. The previously held barony theory was rejected, with the cause of SAS now said to be a vestibular disorder. The vestibular system undergoes a paralysis, throwing off one's center of balance. It's called the vestibular disorder theory. It states that several organs that perceive gravity are involved in this disruption, not just the otoliths of the inner ear. Generally speaking, the most effective form of treatment available would be to give an intramuscular injection of promethazine, but because SAS varies from person to person, there are currently no medications capable of alleviating all its symptoms. While it's somewhat rudimentary, keeping your head as still as possible will reduce a lot of the discomfort. Symptoms include dizziness, cold sweats, vomiting, headache, and fatigue, and are often accompanied by a false feeling of falling over that doesn't occur in normal motion sickness. The longest they last is about 2 days, however, so I think you should be feeling better pretty soon. Okay. There is no hydrostatic pressure in zero gravity, so much of your bodily fluids collect in the upper half of your body in an attempt to evenly distribute them. When this happens, your body thinks the amount of blood in the bloodstream has increased, causing the brain to send a message to the kidneys. Basically, you end up having to urinate more often. There are efforts underway to try and control this misperception in the brain through methods like biofeedback and yoga. Cool. Let's ask about the plane. The course. Normally we would spend the night in an Earth-orbiting space station and then travel the rest of the way in an orbital transfer vehicle. But this is a direct flight to beyond, which takes about 2 days. 2 days to fly the distance from the Earth to the Moon, 380,000 kilometers. Like that's pretty decent. Like if you could have a 2-day trip to the Moon, that's pretty nice. I would take it. Probably would like to just sleep for most of it, so I'd probably get SAS for sure. So we'll be there soon. Ask about the plane. I'm assuming that's the body of the plane and not the body of the stewardess. Alright, the toilets. In accordance with stricter space debris regulations, the plane doesn't eject waste out into space like before. So you won't get the chances to see any space fireflies like Project Mercury's astronaut Glenn or Milky Way's like Aurora 7's astronaut Carpenter. I love how they've given the toilet waste spacey nicknames. Space food has vastly improved over the years and is actually quite tasty now. Following the latest trends on Earth, we even offer Japanese cuisine as well. However, because flavors aren't preserved very well under low air pressure, we don't bother using any exotic flavorings in our food. The fuel tank, which contains liquid hydrogen and liquid oxygen, is considerably big, so there's only enough seating space for 30 people, including crew. That's why the lifepod holds exactly 30, huh? I've noticed it's extremely quiet on board. The walls of the plane are reinforced with piezoelectric elements. They cancel out the noise from the plane by bending in the opposite direction of the vibrations outside. That's why it was so quiet when we were leaving the atmosphere, was it? Arrival time. How much longer will it be until we arrive? We're not far from beyond now. Okay. I can also show her all of this stuff. But why would I? I'm gonna... Is there anything else I can do for you? Can you stay a little longer? Certainly. I'm gonna... You can't do this anymore. Yeah, you can do that, alright. Always get a yes. Always get a yes before you do something like this. And don't be creepy. And don't touch people without consent. I'm gonna do it because it's in a video game right now. And we're gonna see the reaction. At least he asked. Would it bother you if I touched your legs? Ah! Get your hands off me is probably the response you will get. I just thought I'd take a hands-on approach to learning about the effects of zero gravity. That's all. There you go. I'm glad that she didn't accept that. You know, I don't think I've ever felt a pair in zero gravity before. What are you doing? Excuse me. Yes? Let's go back to this. Let's go back to this now. Oh, man. Kojima can't help himself, can he? Someone needs to bonk that man on the head. I just needed to bonk that man on the head for like literally 30 years. Like, that man has gone unbonked for too long. Let's show him the Hojo photo. You ever seen the man in this photo before? Are they family members of yours? What do you think of this picture? She's a very beautiful woman. You ever seen capsules like these before? Do you feel sick? If you're feeling sick, I have medication for SAS with me. Leaf. Any idea what kind of leaf this is? Is that a pressed leaf from Earth? Don't forget that if you're taking plants into Beyond, they need to be inspected at the spaceport. Okay. You recognize this photo? Yes, I've seen it in textbooks. They were Beyond's original cops. Alright, let's ask for medicine. You think you could give me something for my SAS? It must be really uncomfortable for you, but these things do take a while to take effect, you know. You might not need it in a little bit. Yeah, I know, but I'd still rather take something. I think you'll be alright. We'll be arriving at Beyond shortly. I love how we're literally like, I think I need something. She's like, nah, you'll be fine. Okay. This is what we get for touching without consent, guys. Oh no, we can take it anyway. Okay, so she says that she thinks we'll be alright, but it's an actual choice. It's a choice to take it or not to take it. Does it have any side effects if you take it? I mean, it doesn't feel like there'd be any negative side effects if you take it and then maybe if we'll be fine. I don't know if it'll have any like side effects if we don't take it later and it could like affect us or whatever. If she says we'll be fine, we'll trust her. I think I'll hold off for now. Oh no, I think we have to take it to proceed. You know, I'm genuinely surprised. At this point, I'm genuinely surprised that Kojima just hasn't made like one of those sort of like visual novels that's like a dating simulator. Maybe Kojima doesn't like to go that far as to full on just... Maybe he's made that for himself in his own personal life. If you're free, how about showing a stranger around Beyond? I don't know if that's such a good idea. How does you and me having dinner under the stars after we land sound? I'm trying to do my job here, you know. Man, what should I do? She's like, I can't leave, it's my job. At least he knows how to... At least he's writing women realistically here. They don't care about it. Stop being sleazy, Jonathan. Alright, I'm gonna take the medicine. Here's a Relax Effects then. Relax Effects? Who makes this? Tokugawa Pharmaceuticals. Tokugawa Pharmaceuticals, huh? Thanks. Here goes nothing. The sound effect of taking it? Okay, well, we've taken it anyway. And then it's taken us back to this menu anyway. Interesting. So I could have not taken it and just let her go. Interesting. Alright, we'll just let her go. Is there anything else I can do for you? Thanks a lot. You're welcome. Call me again if you need anything. Okay, guys, we successfully survived the horny segment. You seem to be apprehensive about going to Beyond. No, not really. You'll be fine when you get there. There's artificial gravity and nice clean air. Truly is a wonderful place. I'm sure you'll have a great time.
.そうですね。宇宙酔いも楽になりましたから。何かあれば起こしてあげますよ。それじゃあ。
Sleepy time. Sleepy time. Alright, let's see. Let's see if anything goes wrong with us taking this medication.
お疲れ様でした。当機は間もなくビヨンドコースト宇宙港に到着いたします。到着ロビーにて国際宇宙検疫制度に従った消毒殺菌入国手続きをお願いいたします。 なお、ただいまジュースと食塩錠剤をお配りしております。フライト中に体外へ流出した体液を補給するよう。
God, he looks completely different in that shot.
本日は当 ASL のスペースプレーンをご利用いただきまして誠にありがとうございます。またのご利用をお待ちしております。
It's always the difference between animators drawing a character slightly differently in each frame. Beyond Coast. There it is, the cylinder. The entrance is so tiny. Cool. Alright, we've arrived at Beyond Coast. Do you want to save? Yes. I wonder if that is the completion of the prologue now. I assume so. Is that the completion of the prologue? Because we've moved away from home. There it is. Act 1. Beyond. Cool.
ビヨンドコースト。
Beyond Coast.
天と地が一つに見えるところ。ここは本当のあの世、ビヨンドかもしれん。
That's so cool. A cylindrical world.
地球でのネゴシエーター特権もここでは通用しまい。一人で北条の行方を探すのは困難かもしれない。エド・ブラウンに協力を仰ぐのが賢明だろう。奴なら快く引き受けてくれるはずだ。
Reunite with
エ
Ed.
ドはビヨンド警察 BCP にいる。奴も50代半ばのはず。ポリスノーツ時代からだから、きっと BCP でも出世してるに違いない。念のためにポリスノーツ時代の写真とロレインの写真を持ってきた。何かの役に立つかもしれない。BCP はこの宇宙港の近くにあるはず。まずはエドを探しに BCP へ急ごう。
Cool. Well, I can assume that BCP is a correct abbreviation for Beyond Coast Police. It's a jumbo TV screen. It's showing news from BBC with Karen Hojo on the screen. It's a spaceplane pilot. Active amphibians can adapt to a 1G environment almost right away. They look like they're waiting for a flight. That person looks like an employee, judging by the uniform. There's passengers everywhere. Space is within reach of the common man now. There's passengers everywhere. Looks like space travel is a heck of a lot easier now compared to before. In our day, we had to undergo a 150-point medical exam in order to get off the ground. A ton of Japanese people here, not surprisingly. First, they have the overseas travel boom, now a space travel boom. Any serious tourist hotspot anywhere these days is always full of people peddling stuff in Japanese. Soon Japanese might become an official language here at this rate. With the world's economy revolving around the yen like it does today, that could just be inevitable. It's a board displaying information about spaceplane departures and arrivals. I can't get over how many flights there are. Tree. These plants have been selectively bred to photosynthesize artificial light as well as natural light. They're perfect for replenishing the colony's oxygen supply. I'm assuming we're going up here. The escalator goes up to the second floor. It's a low-gravity escalator. Okay. I'm trying to pick where to go. Oh yeah, we can move. Oh, I can just literally... Okay, so you go to the side of the screen, you can just choose where to go. You could go straight to Hojo's house. If we're not... It's probably a good idea. We'll do the BCP first. We'll do what Jonathan has suggested. Let's head to the BCP.
よし、BCP へ急ごう。
BCP. Let's go. Transition. Oh my god. Metal Gears.
ここが BCP か。
Beyond Coast Police Department.
江戸に会え。
They've got Gundams, baby. What are they called? These are the police suits BCP uses? They look like something you'd take to war. Kind of pathetic they gotta depend on these. That's all he's got to say about them. So these are like the police. These are actual, like, I thought these were just empty suits in like a parking lot with like cars and stuff, but no. I love how it's like, it's the year 2040. We've got amazing police suit things that look like they can fly out to space, but we also have police cars from the 90s still. These are the police cars they're using nowadays? They don't look any different from the ones on home. These are more my thing than the suits. It's a BCP squad car. That car must belong to someone here. There's only one sort of person who illegally parks in front of a place like this. It says Beyond Coast Police Department. That looks like the entrance. It's BCP's entrance. The place looks more like a bank or a museum. Seeing if I can investigate the weather. Go inside. Guess I'll head inside.
This is BCP のロビーか。広いんだな。おい。
おい。
何の用だい？被害届でも出すのかい？
Oh, my cursor was in the corner. It's a map of Beyond Coast. The place looks like some sort of control room. I love that it's just like a cylinder and you can look up and then you can see people. You can just like see more land and obviously the gravity's just holding them down. So weird. Okay. Shall we talk to our people first before we talk at the main desk? Let me guess. Undercover. I thought I smelled something. This looks like the kind of counter you'd find at a hospital or a bank. Crime must be a lot more widespread here than I thought. Let's talk to him. I'm looking for a guy who works here called Ed Brown. You know him? I'm Detective Starsky. I'm waiting for Detective Foley and Sergeant Riggs. Don't know anyone by that name. Never heard the name. Alright. The call... Oh god. Sorry, excuse me. The call girl. A staple of modern society. You're not from around here? Want to get away from here, baby? Real good price, I promise. Just hanging out in the police station, apparently. A staple of modern society. So, how about it? They bring you in, did they? Something like that. So what do you say, baby? Sorry, but I've got business of my own to take care of here. What? You're one of them too? I don't believe this. I must be losing my touch. Okay, so she was brought in. So how's business? Oh, shut up. Get yourself a haircut. Take a hike, dipshit. My favorite thing is that Jonathan tries and fails to be a ladies' man, apparently. That's 2 for 2. He's striked out. They look like bank tellers or something. Are they operators for this place? Doesn't feel like any station I've ever been to, not with this many desk jobs. Truly a mark of the colony age. Solid Snake had more luck with his flirtatious nature, but that was because he was a legend. He had a reputation. It's a BCP cop. He looks like the receptionist. Maybe I'll try asking this guy about Ed.
Ah, いいかな。俺はジョナサン・イングラム。地球で探偵をしてる。それで、
Bob。
ビヨンドまでわざわざどうしたんだい？昔ここに勤務してたことがある。へえ、本当かい？ぶち込まれてたってわけじゃないだろうな。警官をしてたんだ。当時の旧友に会いに来た。なるほど。同窓会でもしようってわけか。それで、話してみな。
Interesting. Let's ask about security on Beyond. So, how's the crime situation here these days? I know you didn't come here to ask me that. Whatever. It's been 30 years, what do you expect? They try to tell you it's a safe place and everything, but in reality, Beyond's the same as any major city on home. See her there? Comes with the territory. That's what happens when any large group of people live together, and when the city turns dirty, so must the cops. Just like Lorraine said. You know, I do have a job to do here. No sympathy, huh? Of course you're gonna get crime if you've got a million people living together. Theft, prostitution, drugs, murder, take your pick. The work never stops around here. We get paid next to nothing, too. Which is only more sort of inspiration to become a bit dirty and corrupt on the side. It's time I started thinking about a career change. That's pretty much the story. What's the crime like here, he's asking me. Enough with the questions, alright? It's been over 20 years since this place got started. Times change. AP does all the real work nowadays. They're the ones that hit the street. Old cops like me get the desk work. What about the guys behind you? They all work desk jobs too? Yeah, the operators? They process all the information that gets sent here. Okay, AP. AP is BCP period. I guess the EMPS plays a big part too. Not everybody gets to pilot those though. People on home seem to think we're all out whizzing around in EMPS everywhere. Enough with the questions, alright? AP. AP stands for Advanced Police. It's the elite unit the Chief created. It employs the latest EMPS as well as Frozeners. The AP unit's got a total of 30 members and 20 EMPS. I got work to do, you know. EMPS are police suits developed by Tokugawa Heavy Industries. Tokugawa is very, very well set up right now, huh? They're just doing a bunch. And that's one of the guys that was on our Policenauts team. EMPS are police suits developed by Tokugawa Heavy Industries and BCP for use in and around the colony. EMPS stands for Extra Vehicular Mobility Police Suit. They're the things out front, right? Yeah, I saw them. Those are the Goddard model. The Goddard model, okay. Each one alone costs tens of billions of yen, but price ain't an issue. We could never go back to the way things were before we started using them. They're the guys from the fertilized eggs the government's got. Normally they get sent to the military, but the chief uses them in AP too. Yeah, they use that white artificial blood, right? Lately we've seen Frozeners sent here from various militaries on home. I've got work to do, you know. I can show him stuff before we talk about Ed. You know this picture, right? The Policenauts? No one remembers them anymore. Like I told you, AP does all the work here. The Policenauts are a joke now. Look, what do you want me to say? Have you ever seen this kind of leaf before? That a pressed leaf? I'm not into plants. What do you make of these capsules? What are those supposed to be? Don't recognize them. You see this? I don't care what your girlfriend looks like. Can you tell me if you've ever seen this man anywhere? That the guy you're looking for? There's no one like that here. Okay. Ask about Ed. I'm here to see Ed Brown. You know, the former Policenaut. Ed? Ed Brown? That's who you're here to see? Jesus, you came all the way from home to see him? He's down in the junkyard. The junkyard? Yeah, Vice. BCP's dump. He's in charge there. You got something against Ed or what? He's totally useless. I pray to God I don't end up like him. Everyone around here knows him. Hard to believe he used to work with the chief. Oh yeah? The chief's an ex-Policenaut too. Enough with the questions, alright? You said Vice? If guys like us have the BS work, you can imagine the fun they have. AP handles just about everything they used to do. I don't know why they still call it Vice. It's down in the basement, the cave as we call it. The cave? It's dark, smelly, and weird stuff grows on the walls. That's what Ed does now? You ruffle feathers up here, you get thrown down there. They're BCP's freeloaders. Man, I don't believe this. See for yourself if you think I'm making it up. Alright, I guess we'll go back.
その言葉は風紀課に行ってからにした方がいいぜ。どうして？聞かなかった方が良かったかもな。
Oh, I think you'll find out.
落ちぶれた姿は見たくないもんだ。
Interesting. Alright, I guess we can go to Vice.
地下だな。
So, Vice is... No, he's talking. It's fine.
あんた、エドに伝えてくれ。早くやめちまいなって。いつまでもただ飯食らってると。
Ouch. So rude.
便利屋じゃない。
I'm not your secretary.
言いたけりゃ自分の口で言うんだな。
He's like, I'm not your secretary, bruh. God damn. There he is.
ここが噂に名高い風紀課か。なるほど。優遇されてる部署とは思えんな。
The music in this game is so good. Ah, I always forget that my cursor's off the side of the screen and I'm waiting for something to happen. Is that a monster garage kit? Yeah, it's from the 30cm King of the Monsters vinyl series. It was designed by Nobuo Sakai III. I made it from this Zero-G kit. By casting the parts in zero gravity, you prevent seam lines and air bubbles from forming. They even sell made-in-space garage kits now, huh? I never expected to find people still using paper trays on Beyond. Burger. Master Miller's burgers. McDonald's burgers. I can't even look at the burger. You killing me? A book stand? That's a lot of paper media. They've got paper trays and book stands here. I'm shocked they use all this paper. I can see why they call this the junkyard. It looks like some kind of ceremonial envelope. He's eating a hamburger. I remember me and Ed used to hit the fast food joints all the time. You hungry or something? Forget it. Don't even ask. They don't look like the APs the guy in the lobby was talking about. Their complexions are normal. He's a scrawny little kid. Doesn't seem like the place for him. Leave me alone. I want to enjoy this burger. Alright, let's talk to this dude first. How am I supposed to eat with you staring at me? You got a minute? Is this Vice? What do you want? This is the basement. Toilet's upstairs. I'm eating right now. Okay. Talk to the girl. She's quite a tall woman. Must be at least 6 foot. Yeah, they can't be APs. She's the biggest woman I've seen since I got here. The hell do you want? Maybe I'll try you instead. This is the Vice unit, right? What's it to you? She's got a pretty strong home accent. Put a sock in it, tough guy. Walk yourself back up the stairs while you're at it. This is Vice, BCP's dump. Interesting outlook. Okay. So is Ed Brown? Ed Brown's the one that's snoozing right now then. Is that Ed? I can't make out the face. Look closer. Yeah, that's Ed, alright. Ed, you bum. It's barely even lunch. Hey, Ed. Fucking sleeping. He's out cold. Unbelievable. Ed, wake up. Yo, Ed, get up, damn it.
居眠りするにはまだ早いぜ。
ジョナサン。
30年も先回りしやがって。
ジョナサン。ジョナサン・イングラムか。懐かしいな。
エドも元気そうだな。
ジョナサン、よく来てくれた。ゆっくりしてってくれ。この通り俺の方は暇を持てましてる。そうだ、ビヨンドでも案内しようか。
エド、違うんだ。実は頼みがあってきたんだ。
頼み？
ああ、助けが欲しい。俺の捜査に協力してくれ。ロレインの夫、徳川製薬の北条健三という男がこのビヨンドで行方不明になっている。俺はロレインの依頼でその北条の消息を追ってるんだ。エド？
ジョナサン、すまんがそういうことなら力にはなれん。
エド、ロレインが殺されたんだ。俺の目の前で。何か大きな事件に巻き込まれたに違いないんだ。
すまん、ジョナサン。
どうしちまったんだよ、エド。いつからそんなふぬけになった？
頭を冷やせ、ジョナサン。この一件は我々の担当ではない。ホームの警察に任せるのが一番だ。
エド？
ジョナサン、BCP で俺たちのことを何て呼ばれてるか知ってるか？ジャンク屋だ。ここはクズしか集まってこん。後がないんだ。
昔のエドはどこへ行ったんだ？俺の知ってるあのエドは。
ジョナサン、お前の知ってるエドは30歳も若いエドだ。今の俺は違う。守るべき家族もローンもある。 年を取れば勇気もなくなる。失敗も恐れる。権力にも屈するようになるんだ。俺はゲイツのように器用ではない。
エド、
俺はここでこの汚い地下で机にしがみついているのが精一杯だ。今のこの地位もゲイツの情けだ。
分かった。それ以上言うな。
デカ長がやらないんなら私が手伝うわ。
メリルがやるって言うんなら僕もその話に乗った。
It's Meryl! Oh my fucking god, dude.
上にバレたら終わりだぞ。
終わりって
Holy shit, the tattoo!
ここがその終わりなんじゃないの？
The foxhound tattoo and everything. Holy fuck. Oh shit!
俺は30年の間にいろんなものを失っちまった。ロレインも。だがこれで本当に全てを失っちまった。
Wow.
無理を言ったな、エド。じゃあな。
くそー、なんてこった。あと
3 more years away from retirement. Yeah.
たくジョナサン、表だっては協力できんからな。
エド、
それから無茶はごめんだぞ。無茶は
分かってるさ、エド。心配するな。
お前の心配するなが一番心配なんだ。それからメリルにデイブ、お前ら
Meryl and Dave.
いいな。この件は俺の個人的な問題だ。
了解デカ長、手は出さないわ。
口は出すけどね。
たく、あ、ジョナサン、遅れたがこいつらを紹介しておく。
Dude, I can't believe Meryl's in Policenauts. That's so sick.
メリルにデイブだ。メリルはホーム生まれのホーム育ち。元ハイテク特殊部隊フォックス
Literally
最後
Meryl.
の隊員だ。
High tech!
ザンジバーランド
What the fuck?
通りで地球なまりがひどいと思う。
よろしく。
He's in Foxhound. What the fuck?
デイブはビヨンド生まれ、ビヨンド育ちのビヨンズだ。
よろしくジョナサン。テレストリアルは大歓迎だよ。
What?
ホームはいいものな。僕もホームの移住願いを申請中なんだ。
よろしく、メリルにデイブ。
That's so cool.
さて、ジョナサン、どうしよう。とりあえず BCP 内を案内しようか。お前もポリスノーツだったんだ。興味はあるだろ。
I fucking love that so much, dude. I love Meryl. That's great. Because obviously Metal Gear is already out at this point, but Meryl doesn't exist yet. Meryl is a Metal Gear Solid creation. So that's actually really cool. So Meryl was in Policenauts first as a Metal Gear reference, but then made it into Metal Gear Solid as an actual character. That's so cool. What the fuck? Is that a real tattoo? No, just a paint tattoo. It stays on for about half a year. I am still a woman after all. This is Foxhound's old insignia. Most people here don't recognize it. That's so cool. That gun seems a little big for a woman. This is a Magnum Monster Special, the biggest lift gun in the world. So that's a lift gun. This kind of gun suppresses recoil, allowing you to use it in zero gravity. Almost all guns in the colony are lift guns. There's a second explosion the moment the bullet exits the muzzle, kind of like a rocket. That serves as the bullet's main propulsion. That's why there's so little recoil. Wouldn't another explosion right outside the gun throw off your aim? No, see, you have a laser that keeps you locked onto your target. It has other features that absorb the residual recoil anyway. I'll take my recoil any day. Have you put any practice at the shooting range here? It's got several different programs you can use. You should check it out sometime. Thanks. I'm a pretty good shot, but I guess it wouldn't hurt. I haven't had a game over yet, thankfully. I wouldn't mind watching you practice sometime. Now we need to see the game over screen for scientific reasons and see what it looks like. Got a cute face. I can see a flirty side to you. You should ask the chief about the last guy who tried to hit on me. Don't call me that again. I hate jokes. So what should I say? How about, oh Meryl, you're simply radiant. Radiant? You're really tall. You must get a lot of looks. Not really. I'm only 6 foot. I was one of the smaller ones in the military. That's quite a knife. It's a Nishio combat knife. It's for protection. I've carried one ever since I was in the military. No one would ever go after you. It's great to have around. It can cut through anything, except the bond between partners. Good old Dave Forrest. Is that a bandana for zero gravity? No sweat. I got it from one of the instructors in Foxhound. He said it'd keep the angel of death away. This has saved my butt a number of times. Most of them have been for stopping bleeding. A bandana does seem out of place on Beyond, but I don't let it bother me. That's so cool, dude. Your hair's kind of bushy, like an afro or something. Must be hard work, is it? Actually, it's easier for me this way. Brushing your hair all the time is a pain, I think. Not many people on Beyond have hair this long. Don't think I don't see the way you keep looking at me. You like me or something? Like you? Kind of afraid of you. What? You can put that knife away. I won't fight you. Sorry, what? Wait, did you say you like me? I'm not even gonna try. You know, that's the second time you've asked me if I like you. Yeah? You know I'd never sell myself short like that. Let's ask about her. Why don't you tell me about yourself? That's a surprise. No one's ever said that to me before. Not in person, anyway. I'm mainly into bikes and combat. I like men, but not in that way. Of course, ever since I came here, half of me's disappeared. You can't ride bikes on the colony. Well, you can, but only electric ones. They don't let you import gas engine models. A bike's nothing without the speed. You wouldn't be much without the combat either, huh? You really want to know about me, you'll find out soon enough. Her past. So you were in the military on home. Why'd you join? Everyone in my family was in the military. I guess that's why. I think they kinda hoped I would. Why'd you move to Beyond? I was in the Special Forces on home, but the way the world's regions were stabilizing and whatnot meant we weren't needed as much. There was no excitement in that. I was dying to see some real action. Then the government started using more and more frozeners. They ended up getting all the work. That's when I thought I'd try it here. I passed all the checks, no problem, but Beyond's the same story. All those bug-eyed albino freaks. Just my luck, huh? The past doesn't matter as much as how you live here and now, don't you think? What's it like working here? At Vice? Pretty boring. Catching Johns and prostitutes with undercover stings, basic patrols of the colony, that kind of stuff. What do you mean boring? There's this big area for prostitution in the center of the colony called Kabuki Quarter. Tourists from home like to go there for the zero-gravity sex. Zero-G sex. That would be something. We arrest them, they get out on bail. It's an endless cycle. I don't like it here because I get SAS, since I'm a terrestrial. Why is it called the Kabuki Quarter? There was this red light district in the late 20th century Japan known as Kabuki-cho. There was an explosion in the number of cases of STBO in Japan back then. Kabuki-cho was hit particularly hard. So our friends packed up and moved things here. There are rumors Tokugawa helped fund the place as a gesture towards his employees. Tokugawa, man. Fingers in many pots. I can never work undercover because of my build, so I'm always the one making the bust. And don't even say it, I get it from the guys upstairs all the time. Let's show her some stuff. You look so young here, Chief. That's where all this started, the Policenauts. I hate flowers. I'm allergic to pollen. You have a cold or something? What's with this? Who's that next to you? Oh, it's just an old memento. We all have our pasts, you especially. So that's the guy who's gone missing? That must be his wife next to him, right? So that's Hojo. Doesn't look like the type who just leave everything and take off. Okay, now we'll talk to Dave. That a Maximum hamburger? It just looks like a bun with lettuce. They became famous after that setup, that so-called drive-through. They set up that so-called drive-through for astronauts. I used to eat a lot of them on home. This is the Beyond version of the 1G meal. This is my favorite food. On Beyond, there are 2 types of packs. The other one is the 0G meal. I like the 1G meals. Dave wants to try a carbonated drink on home. Things like carbonated drinks and beer don't taste very good in zero gravity, so they're impossible to come by here. Even when you try and get them shipped from home, they spoil along the way. Is that all you eat? I'm still on my first pack, just getting warmed up. What's that shirt you're wearing? It's from the repatriist movement. I'm a repatriist myself. Repatriatist. Guys, he's a repatriate. Death Stranding! Mankind should return home. We don't belong out here. Jesus, Dave, not so loud. You could kiss your job goodbye if the brass found out you're a repatriist. Repatriatist. Repatriatist. There's another T in there. A repatriatist. Yeah, repatriatist. Pollution in outer space is worsening every year. The movement says we should cease all space exploration and development and return home. It's a repatriatist shirt. Pretty nice, huh? Is that a bulletproof vest? This is a life jacket. I like the way it looks. That's literally a life jacket. You don't need to wear a vest on Beyond. They send EMPS to do all the trouble spots. There's no such thing as safe to a cop. You can never be too careful. Relax, Jonathan. Doesn't look like much of a life jacket, does it? It's light too. It looks like a life jacket that puffs out. You look like a mellow guy, total opposite of most cops I've known. All my life, everyone's told me all I ever do is smile. It's bugged my teachers. Dave thinks he looks cool like this. Yeah, I see you looking at my nose. Just gets red like this, I can't help it. Okay. He's got those Digimon goggles on. What kind of sensors do those goggles have? They're like a solid eye or something? None. These are the type of goggles biplane pilots wore back in the 20th century. One of my dreams is to fly a hang glider on home, to have nothing between me and the wind. Now that I think about it, there aren't any aircraft in here, are there? Nope, no gliders, planes, choppers, nothing. So we got a life jacket and a pair of goggles. What's the point? How would you ever use them here? Oh, I do. Yeah, how? They make me feel good. I don't actually need these for my job or anything. Hair. You look like you should be in high school or something. I never guessed you were a cop. I'm 25. Think about it. I've been alive for a quarter of a century. Yeah, let's talk to him. Sup? Let's ask about him. Why'd you become a cop? Well, as you know, I was born here on Beyond. I've never been outside the cylinder. I became a cop because I thought I could get a transfer to home. It takes time for Beyonds to obtain an immigration visa. Sometimes years. It's not easy either, with all the checks they do. You're lucky, Jonathan. I'm a pretty ordinary guy, and my interests aren't that different from most anybody else's. His hobbies. What are your hobbies, bud? You saw my model, right? I guess my favorite thing to do is building kits with a box of Maximum burgers next to me. Just love me models and me burgers. The PVC you get here is made in zero gravity, so you don't get any air bubbles or warping or bumps. Everything comes out real nice. They're better built and cheaper than the models you find on home. You like these kind of figures, huh? What about scale models? I'm not interested in scale models. I'm into sci-fi monsters, like the ones you see in the old tokusatsu flicks. Like Godzilla, you'd be friends with Paramedic. When I was a kid, Beyond was a safe place. That's why I decided to become a cop. I figured it wouldn't be a dangerous job. I had no idea. Sorry to hear that. Then all the dirtbags started showing up. Our job is to get rid of as many of these dirtbags as we can. I figured Lorraine was right. Ever since AP started up, we don't do any of the dangerous work like drug busts that normal vice units do. It's more or less basic collars for us. Is this the guy you're looking for? Hey, she's that anchor on News Order, right? Yeah, see, I was waiting for someone to see this photo of Lorraine, because, like, Karen looks just like her. I've actually seen that show before, but I can't quite remember her face. Capsules, so those some kind of drugs? I've never seen a leaf like that before. Is it from home? I think the Policenauts are still cool. I don't care what anyone says. Alright, I think we're good. Wasn't like your average Joe could go to space in those days. You had to be chosen. Alright, I guess we can now move away from our group.
ヨナさん、それじゃあ BCP 内を案内しようか。いいのか？いいんだよ。お前を一人にする方が心配だ。びっくりするぞ。ここはホームの警察とはかなり違う。さあ、どこへ案内しよう。
Ooh, okay. Okay, we can choose places to check out. Okay. Let's go. Well, the lobby seems like that would be where we'd go if we want to leave. So let's check out We'll just go down in order, I guess. Let's check out forensics. Oh my god, it's Dr. Madnar! It's Dr. Madnar! Victor. Okay. What is that face on that computer screen back there?
諦めた方がいい。エドは物覚えが悪いんだ。
お、誰じゃねその人は。ジョナさん、紹介するよ。BCP の鑑識を担当しているビクトル・ユルゲンス先生だ。
Victor Jurgens。
ジョナサン・イングラムだ。OLA で探偵をしている。
ほう、あんたがあの有名なイングラム飛行士？え？若い頃、あんたの火星有人飛行の中継をワクワクして見ていたよ。そうか、戻ってきたんじゃな、あんたのホームに。よろしくな。
That's cool. Dude, all the characters in this game are absolutely so much fun to talk to. Like, they're so great. Okay, first things first, I gotta ask, bud, what the hell's going on with this screen? What's this? This is my AID analyzer. What you see on the monitor is a visual representation of the AID's AI. I call him Gorby. He responds to my voice. Ah, good. Gorby's got nothing on the Patriots AI have nothing on Gorby. Good old Gorby, huh? Gorby's mood is translated onto the screen. He's currently doing this. What's that mood? Who's he based on? You? Nope, the last president of the Soviet Union. Ah, Gorbachev? That's why you've called it Gorby. Oh, I get it. Gorby's mood is translated onto the screen. It's almost like he's alive in there. He is alive. We transferred Gorbachev's consciousness onto an AI. What the fuck? Alright, hang on. Let me look around before we talk to the AI. Those are his visual senses, his eyes, so to speak. I say eyes, but they're just for moving around. He doesn't use them in analyses. That's his keyboard. I use it for analysis. There are limits to his voice recognition capabilities. The keyboard comes out when you open his cover. It's Victor's forensic robot, the AID. Interesting. The aid, because it aids him. Is that your ID? Yeah, I don't like my hologram, so I've got this sticker over it. It causes problems with the readers whenever I have to scan it. It's Victor's ID card. There's a sticker on top of his photo. My picture's terrible. I had to cover it up. Has he got blood on him? Been in the morgue, have you, bud? There's blood on your clothes. I should think so. I've had this gown since my first autopsy. It's seen the blood of every single body I've looked at over the years. Guess you could say part of their souls too. It's Victor's medical gown. Looks more like a piece of military camouflage. Any fresh blood that gets on it blends right in. Where's this? It's Russia. The old Soviet Union, I should say. That's where I'm from. Been about 50 years since the last time I was there. So 1990. It's Russia, Dr. Jurgens' home country. I wonder what it's like now. I have to go back at least once before I kick the bucket. It's a lot different from when you were a kid. They've had a complete economic recovery too. That, my friends, is a clipping of the thesis. To be specific, the thesis. It was in this famous academic journal on home. I decided to major in pathology after I read it. That paper changed my life forever. This is some amazing equipment you've got. Amazing. Think so? Well, amazing in the sense that they're all ancient analog devices. I've had these a long time. I still use them in my research. To be honest, I use my aid for most of my work. So they're more of a collection? You could say that. I have a lot of memories of these. Alright, let's start talking to people. I'm gonna talk to this guy first. Hey, Gorby! I wouldn't bother. He's an AI to a point. He can tell you what's in the dirt on your shoes, but he can't talk. Just blips and beeps. Okay. Let's talk to you. Doctor? I'm listening. Let's ask about him. you a terrestrial? You'd have to be at your age, wouldn't you? I was born in Moscow, back when socialists ran the country. That picture was taken around the time I was born. After the collapse of the Soviet Union, I went to America to study forensic medicine and later became a medical examiner. I've done autopsies on over 30,000 bodies throughout my career. In my 40s, I became interested in studying bodies in space and came here. You should see the bodies you get in zero gravity. The decomposition stages are freaky stuff. Why'd you become a forensic pathologist? Doctors deal with the living. There's always the possibility they'll screw up and kill the guy. You can't kill someone if they're already dead, can you? Forensic medicine is less stressful than regular medicine, wouldn't you say? My area of expertise is medical examinations, but with my aid, I can perform most other analysis too. AP has its own science unit, so we're on the shoestring budget here. It's just me and Gorby. The further computer analysis progresses, the less use there is for people like me. Frankly, AP gets most of the real work. I hardly ever get to do anything. I'm still just as good as any of them. All they ever do is throw things in their fancy schmancy analyzers. You sound just like Meryl and Dave. None of you guys are fans of AP. AID. Can you tell me more about that AID thingy? AID is short for Auto Analysis Identification Device. It's an AI gadget for doing analyses. It's got a high number of sensors like a spectrograph, a gas chromatograph, and a geotechnical sounder. You make it yourself? Ha! Are you kidding? I wouldn't even know where to start. AID and its analysis programs were created by somebody on Home. Just by somebody on Home, apparently. He's a big help around here. He's a whiz when it comes to analysis. Doesn't make much company, though. I'm actually here looking for a missing person. Supposing he's already dead, how possible would it be to transport his body outside the colony? You could never take a body outside beyond single-handed. They've got a pretty tight security system in place. It would be easier to transport them out while they're still alive and kill them somewhere else. They're becoming stricter and stricter about space debris every year. Interesting. What about getting rid of a body inside the colony? Say the person has been dead for several weeks. Burning it would attract too much attention. Dumping it underwater wouldn't work either. They'd detect the gases released during decomposition. Well, it's kind of crude, but burying it might be the best way. The colony has several meters of soil at its surface areas to help protect against cosmic rays. You wouldn't smell it if you buried it at least 20 to 30 centimeters down. Okay. Still remember it, that famous picture? Look at you. We all thought you guys were incredible. You've never told me that before. Really? Well, now you know.
ビクトル、調べてもらいたいものが。
Oh yeah, I can forensic the leaf.
なんじゃ。それか。あ、これもそうだが、もう一つある。全部見せてみ。
Oh yeah, nice. Capsules in the leaf. Can you do it? I could never turn down a request from one of the Policenauts, could I? Don't tell anyone about them, okay, Doctor? Give me a little time. It shouldn't take too long. Thanks, Victor. No problem. I'll get started right away. Nice. Alright, well, we found a use for the capsule and the leaf. Makes sense to take them to forensics. Lorraine photo. Oh? Who's this? What are you talking about? That's me. Not you. I meant the fox next to you. You could call it an old memory. A really old memory. That's what I'd expect from a terrestrial. Beyonds don't look back on the past the way we do. Maybe you understand what that picture means to me. I do. Who are these guys? They look Japanese. This is Kenzo Hojo, the man who's disappeared. This is the guy you're looking for? Anyone who wears glasses here has to be a terrestrial. Cherish your memories, Jonathan. Okay, I think we're good. Corby's mood is translated onto the screen. Alright. What's this? That's his arm. Oh, okay. The hand contains sensors made out of materials like pressure-sensitive rubber and conductive silicon rubber. It allows him to determine the shape and composition of the object he's analyzing. Cool. Alright, well, we're done with forensics then. Let's go to the AP room. We'll be back later, Doctor. My name's Victor.
すごい地球なまりだ。安心するよ。
ビヨンズは冷徹に話すからな。地球のように流暢なアクセントがない。
It would be nice if subtitles in spoken dialogue
ここが BCP を支える AP 隊員の部屋だ。
had the person's name who's speaking as well.
正面にいるのが AP の隊長であり、この BCP の本部長でもあるゲイツ・ベッカーだ。
ゲイツ・ベッカー。
ああ、
There he is.
ロビーで話を聞いた。ゲイツか。偉くなったもんだ。
30年ぶりだろう、ジョナサン。あいつも変わった。さあ、紹介しよう。
Whoa, look at that.
久しぶりだな。
Look at it. He's aged for sure. Look at that.
イングラム。ジョナサンじゃないか。
Gates Becker.
ゲイツ、BCP
They
本
told me you're the big boss around here now.
おめでとう。嬉しいよ。
Big boss.
みんなのおかげだ。私一人の力ではない。ジョナさん、あの事故の件は残念だった。あの鉛筆事故がなければ君がこの椅子に座っていたかもしれん。
その話はやめてくれ。
If only he had an eye patch.
同じポリスノーツとして大歓迎するよ。どうだ、観光はまだか？
いや、観光で来たわけじゃない。
で、どうした？
実は
ジョナサン。
人を探している。名前は北条健三。ビヨンドの徳川製薬社員だ。
徳川。
3週間前にこのビヨンドから姿を消した。捜査を依頼に来た彼のワイフは地球で殺された。
穏やかではないな。
本部長、私は
ジョナサン、徳川が絡んでいるとなればことは単純では済まない。悪いが BCP として公には協力できん。その代わりエドを使う。
Feel free to work with Ed on it.
徳
Okay.
川に何かあれば最終的には我々が乗り出す。エド、北条の捜査に全面的に協力してやってくれ。ただし内密にな。
わかりました。
恩に切る、ゲイツ。
Nice.
ジョナサン、歓迎はするが派手にはせんでくれよ。約束してくれ。
わかった。迷惑はかけない。
しかし久しぶりだな、まったく。
That's cool. I wonder if the reason why the BCP have to keep it quiet or they can't get officially involved is, I'm saying Tokugawa's got fingers in many pots. It wouldn't surprise me if, especially with corrupt cops as well, and if there's something shady going on that we're trying to get to the bottom of, it would make, as usual, so much sense that the cops are on somebody else's payroll or under the influence of, you know, something else outside of the department. So that might potentially be why. That's your uniform? Looks more like something you'd find in the military. Look at this guy. Straight up looks like he could be a villain. That's the uniform of the BCP brass. You have a real commanding presence, Gates. Think so? I have heard that before. Lighten up, Jonathan. When you're my age, you'll know how it feels having people stare at you. That's a nice beard. Suits you. Yeah, I've had this since I was 40. Gates' beard accents his decisive attitude. Your hair's totally grey. I'll be 57 this year. Should probably start thinking about retirement. Wow, grey hair and a grey beard. How old do you think I am, Jonathan? At least my hair hasn't fallen out, right? You can see the reflection of Gates' head in the glass. Is it just me, or is he going bald? Something the matter, Jonathan? No, just admiring your clean windows. Boy, these things sure are spick and span, huh? As you'd imagine, being chief is no bed of roses. Your life revolves around protecting beyond citizens. Okay, so you can see it in the back that he's losing a bit on the back. So that's why he has a commanding presence from the front only. It's the chief's head. His hair's thinning at the back. There you go. So this is the chief's chair. Not bad, Gates. You need a good chair for a job like this. Helps carry the load that accompanies all the responsibility. Chief of Police. I always thought you'd end up here. Your face hasn't changed that much, Gates. Yeah, I suppose I've been luckier than some. You shouldn't stare at people like that. Alright, let's have a chat. Chief, go ahead. Ask about the ex-Policenauts. What happened to the others? Tokugawa resigned from BCP 20 years ago to head up the Tokugawa group. Salvatore quit, I suppose, 10 years or so ago and apparently went back home. Okay. We've all gone our separate ways. The day you left us will probably be the last time we're ever together. The Policenauts eventually evolved into the proper police force we have today. APs do most of the work here now. They're our mobile police unit. BCP is better equipped to do its job with the introduction of AP. Traditional cops have had to more or less shift duties. AP were created to be a new breed of space police designated around the special set of conditions you have on a colony. Oh wow. BCP as it existed before was simply unequipped to deal with space's unique environment. That's why we started using EMPS as well. The biggest mistake the Policenauts made was carrying over a police system from home to the colony. This isn't home, it's a space colony in the middle of nowhere. AP have given us a start in transforming our entire force into one fully adapted to Beyond. We recruit AP members from government frozeners. Oh man, it looks like two M's, but it's an R and an N and then an M. Government. I was like, government. Government frozeners. It's dangerous work. Having family or friends is only a burden. That was one of the lessons of your accident. On top of that, they only use sperm-carrying genes well-suited to space's environment when they fertilize frozeners' eggs. In other words, they select the fathers from past astronauts, meaning we could be responsible for some of these guys? The possibility is there. You could say frozeners are literally the sons of us astronauts. That seems barbaric in a way. AP also carry out a number of missions in zero-gravity areas. In order to prevent calcium loss in weightlessness, they have hybrid artificial bones, joints, and auditory ossicles. Therefore, they don't need to worry about the effects of extended work there. They're indispensable around here. In addition to their normal police duties, AP also use EMPS to perform rescue operations inside the colony. We conduct recognized peaceful operations outside the colony as well, in accordance with the agreement on the rescue of astronauts, the return of astronauts, and the return of objects launched into outer space. We have to tread carefully around this, however. UNCOPUOS are always breathing down our necks. What does that stand for? We could end up with an international incident on our hands if we're not careful. I was expecting that to open up with a new thing so I would know what it stands for. No matter what you or anyone thinks about them, AP are a necessity around here. EMPS are a type of mechanical suit both used inside and outside the colony, born from a cooperation between Tokugawa Heavy Industries and ourselves. So Tokugawa, obviously, with the suits, that's one thing that they're involved with in partnership with the BCP. They employ a bilateral master-slave manipulator which allows for 7 degrees of freedom, just like the human body. The technology is a product of Tokugawa Heavy Industries' research on master-slave manipulators. That Yuri you had your accident in is a far cry from their performance and reliability. Why don't they just turn them into robots while they're at it? The visual sensors in today's robots take 1 full second longer than a human to process data. A second can make all the difference in the world out there. Tele-existence is a more feasible option. You mean controlling EMPS by remote? We wouldn't have to worry about exposure to cosmic rays that way either. Mind you, we still have problems such as communications interference and time lag to overcome first. In addition, EMPS don't possess any singular points. Singular points? A singular point occurs when you have a limit on how far you're able to move a joint in any given direction. Previous manipulators have all had singular points due to shortcomings in their joint drive mechanisms. The moving body 3D analysis algorithm developed by Tokugawa Heavy Industries has succeeded in eliminating singular points from EMPS. Lorraine's murder. The police on home have been in touch with us as it involved the murder of a Beyond. What a senseless crime. Who would have thought something like that would happen to your ex-wife? What's OLA saying? They've concluded she was the victim of a bomb planted by repatriatists or possibly eco-terrorists, but there's not much evidence to go on. Okay. Naturally, we don't have jurisdiction over OLA here. There's nothing we can do. It's difficult for us to obtain any sort of detailed information. Our relationship with the police on home isn't the best. That's why I want you to keep this under the radar, understood? Yeah, of course. Thanks again, Gates. Okay, so one of the reasons that we have to keep it under the radar is because it's outside of their jurisdiction, really, with OLA. Well, I'll be. I haven't seen that in donkey's years. Look at how young we all were. This is you and Lorraine, I see. What were you planning on doing, bringing a photograph like this with you? Try to forget about what happened and move on. Lorraine would want the same. This is the guy who's gone missing. He seems very like all the other people you find at Tokugawa. And then for Lorraine to be killed as well. Okay. You seem awfully happy to see me. I think we can move on now. We'll go to the shooting range. So we've spoken to old mate Gates Becker and checked out the AP room with the Frozeners. Cheerio, Gates. Good old British farewell. Cheerio. Righto then. We'll see you later. Head to the shooting range, innit?
ここが BCP の射撃訓練場だ。BCP では週2回の射撃訓練が義務付けられている。イヤープロテクターはその壁にかけてある。実弾を使うんでかなりの音になるんだ。
俺も使っていいのか？
構わんだろう。税関で銃の登録はしてるんだろ？
ああ、登録は済ませた。弾のライフリングまでな。
あの右の端末を使えば訓練プログラムが始まる。現れるマンターゲットの命中率と命中箇所が分かる仕組みになっている。ただしこのプログラムは無反動銃、つまりリフトガン用に設定されているからな。リフトガンはいかにロックオンするかが問題なんだ。
Love the swearing.
実行プログラムはターゲットモード、トレーニングモード、コンバットモードの計3モードが用意されている。それぞれ様々な状況を想定した特徴のあるプログラムが取り入れられている。昔ながらのメカトロニクスと最先端の立体映像、エレクトロニクスを駆使している。
それじゃ VR なのか？
いや、実戦に近づけるために VR は使っていない。銃も実弾を使う。
No VR training.
安全性の追求だけでは訓練にはならない。軍でも銃の訓練に VR を採用していないのと同じだ。ここでは撃てば現実に風穴が開く。見た目は少し古い感じを受けると思うが、そこいらのバーチャルリアリティとは違う。そこのインテリジェントターミナルで選択。
VR's for amateurs. He's knocking the VR missions of Metal Gear Solid already before it's even come out. Those are ear protectors. You should wear them when you practice. The noise adds up. You'll hurt your ears. More bang for your buck than VR. Alright, let's have a look. This is part of the trainer. You can select a program with this. Use this to start one of the programs. Alright. Let's have a look. Let's do some gun range practice. If I could control the cursor with a mouse, that would be nice. I wonder if I can actually switch the controls, because we're playing this on a PlayStation 1. I wonder if I can switch the controls over. It'll be very interesting, but it'll be fine. Let's do... Oops, I accidentally backed out. Let's do target mode. I need to go back into it now, because I've accidentally backed out. What, change your mind? No, I accidentally pressed X instead of circle. Let me go back in. Target mode. Select target. Let's go. Let's see if I can do this. Target mode. I love this shit. This is so cool. Oh, further goes away. Hey-ya. Oh, it's so pixelated back there. Oh. Oh, I'm missing my ones at the end. Missed my ones at the end a lot there. Ooh, look at that widespread. None of them in the middle. None of them in the middle. I mean, I hit every shot at least, but... Oops. No bullseyes. Jonathan Ingram. 41 out of 100 points. Cool. I like that it actually has like a first-person shooter segment. It's really funny. That's neat. So what do you think? You popped your BCP cherry. Okay, let's take a look. That was target mode's man target. This is your standard type of target. I think you've gotten worse. I'm sure you could do better than that. I suppose you tend to be more critical when it's someone's first time. Practice makes perfect. In target mode, you need to keep an eye on how much time you've got left, especially if you're setting up each shot separately. It runs out pretty fast. You can't fire any remaining rounds once time's run out. The more shots you've landed, the higher your score will be, naturally. Yeah, I could have just like waited to kind of like set up a shot as it comes through. Easy to use, isn't it? I'm going to check out one more, and then we'll move on to the lobby. Combat mode. Level 21. I don't know what the numbers even mean. Let's just pick easy, because I don't even know what the numbers mean. Ah, I see. I'm going to assume that's a civilian. No? I was like, that'll be a civilian. It'll differentiate between two profiles. No, apparently not. Just shoot anything that you see. I really thought they were going to try and fake us out with a civilian.
Reload. Reload, reload.
Oh god, I have to reload. Shit! No! You lose life when you take too long. Fuck. I thought it was just shooting until the clip ran out. Moving up on the levels, getting a bit faster. I'm trying to just go for headshots, but I can obviously just shoot them wherever.
Reload.
Ow. So they shot that one twice. Yeah. It's getting a bit more hectic now. I'm less focused on headshots and more just actually shooting them. I now see what the level's all about, because the level goes up over time. Ching! Oh, missed a couple of shots there. Ah, missed.
Reload.
I'm not taking hits. I'm surviving. That's a fast reload, man. That is a fast reload if I ever seen one. Oh, that's a total miss. Awful. Ah! Terrible shot. Just shot right at the bottom of it.
Reload.
Oh.
Reload.
Oh god. Forgot that it doesn't stay up if you miss. Oh! Cheeky! They go into cover. Now I'm stressing out even more. Oh, you reload if you look off to the... Okay. You can press triangle to reload, but also if you just... Shit. You can press triangle to reload, but also if you just shoot off the screen, apparently. Oh, we got moving targets now. Accidentally reloaded by shooting off screen, see? Oh, I missed. Shit. no. Why am I doing no? Panic. What? What happened there? Maybe there are civilians now because I shot one and lost points. Woo! Okay, 90% hit rate. I started messing it up at the end there. That was not bad. Not bad for the combat sim. I wonder if I'll get some praise for that. That was okay. I got some silver medals in there. Got the feel for it. That was your first time in combat mode. Man, with this level, I'm embarrassed to say that we were both Policenauts. These levels are just practice stages. The Tox moves will start to change off these levels. Be ready for it. It's like, oh yeah, I think I did okay. It's like, man, I'm embarrassed for you. Okay. Let's go to the lobby. That's enough of that. Let's get back to things.
ジョナサン、薬莢を拾っていけよ。リフトガンは薬莢が出ないんだ。苦情が殺到する。
なるほど。わかった。エドは訓練しないのか？
いいんだ。
どうして？お前の腕を久々に見てみたいな。
俺は上手くない。もう目が良くないんだ。
おかしなやつだな。
Okay. Well, you're giving me shit then.
ここが BCP の正面玄関のロビーだ。大きさを無視すればホームの警察と大差はないはずだ。
整然としすぎてるがな。
This guy's still here. That guy ain't one of us. He's a police drama buff. Movies, TV shows, you name it. He likes to come and hang out here. Ah, so he's not undercover at all. You got the wrong read, Jonathan. He's always pretending he's a cop. I wouldn't talk to him if I were you. Wow, now that's hardcore. Now where did Agent Cooper go off to? Diane's looking for him. For God's sake, don't get him going. He comes here every day babbling the same nonsense. We all know him. You know where Lieutenant Brannigan is? Detective Book's looking for him. Just forget him. He's always like this. That's Bob, one of the desk sergeants. All he does is talk about people behind their backs. I don't like the guy. He's one of those desk jockeys who thinks his shit don't stink. Find what you were looking for, Detective? Just getting started. Hey Ed, now you can add babysitting terrestrial douches to your job description. I still can't believe you flew all this way to see Ed. Huh? I still can't believe you ain't shut the hell up. He's always like this, trust me. Just let it go. Guys like him are the old BCP cops. There ain't that many of them left now. Okay, well there's not much in the lobby. So we can choose to go outside. Cool, so I guess we can leave and progress with Ed's help with the investigation to go to, I guess, Hojo's house and some other stuff. But so I think with that one, guys, we'll bring this episode of Policenauts to a close, where we journeyed to Beyond Coast and we've checked out the BCP, reunited with some old friends, met some new ones, Meryl and Dave for starters. And next time we're gonna go. We'll leave the BCP. We'll explore more. And we'll see what we can find. I'm really liking the story and the world building that's happening and all of the characters we're getting introduced to. And I'm really excited. Like, we're in that period of the story where it's setting everything up. So I'm really excited for us to get into like the meat of the story as well. So thank you so much for watching the second episode of our Policenauts playthrough. And I will see you next time.